Hi, everyone. Well, we're already halfway down the road at this point. Peter and I have just started chatting, and it's already full on. So this is Lou Martin on my Awakened Spirits Network, and this is my third interview with this extraordinary spiritual teacher and channel and warm and lovely human being, Peter Hansen. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you for having me again. It's a
Thank you,
pleasure
my
to
friend.
be and see and connect with you and see what's going on in your world and on your continent where you're at right now. It's wonderful, and see how you are evolving, how you're navigating, how you're shining your light and sharing and retooling yourself. I can tell that you are reinventing yourself, and that comes back to a little bit about we talked about briefly before without diving in fully to it yet.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Share anything, yeah.
But it's like outgrowing that container. It's like your sense of self, your expression, the channel of light that's coming through, the wisdom that's coming through. You need a more expansive stage to play on, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Great. I'll take good news. I welcome good news.
Connecting with so many more people where they at. You know what I mean? You're casting a bigger net because you are clearing personal limitations within you, then allow your authenticity, your frequency, your consciousness to be seen and experienced and felt. You love
Wonderful.
all of that, so much stronger, so much more significant,
Thank you.
So
Wow.
I take my hat off for you. I think that's beautiful.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you. I mean, I just want to update everyone. So, Peter and I met probably a year ago, I'm going to guess, something like this. And this is our third chat, as I said. And somewhere in all of this, every time I connect with Peter, he's just full of love and wisdom and gets the biggest picture imaginable from spirit about me personally and all of us collectively. And so the divine timing of this is, and Peter's already answering the questions I haven't asked, which is his specialty. So Friday, I was given an eviction notice, and even though I paid the rent now for December, Tuesday, it didn't change anything. So Monday, I started a new group called I Am the Miracle. And we've been doing it the last few evenings. And I've been really just throwing myself, not in the least bit shy, throwing myself into, sharing with people and waking up more deeply onto the whole process and the art of manifesting, which, as you've said already quite beautifully, really is about loving myself better, being very honest with myself about what I want and need, and being more deeply connected and more sincerely trusting of my oneness with spirit, with God, and letting myself be guided, used, shown. So, in the last few nights, Peter, I've had one miracle after another show up. The one I've told, and I'll just tell this briefly, was I was getting ready for a party last night, and I came out of the shower affirming, no person, place, or thing has dominion over my home. Only the love and light of Almighty God has dominion over my home. And I said that a couple of times, and there was this black fluttering in front of me. And I'm like, what's this? It's the butterfly that has been completely immobile for 6 months, 9 months, a year on my wall, literally just sprang to life as I was saying these affirmations. And then not a minute later, a friend of mine texted, and she wanted to come by. I said, yes, come on by. What did she have for me? My new power drum and a few other beautiful, some Tibetan bowls and the symbols and all that. So, things are flying, and here we are. This is the highlight of the week for me, my friend, for sure. And so I'm thrilled. And you're already telling me, and you're going to tell us about the bigger picture here, because there's you and me, which is interesting enough. But the bigger picture, of course, is what everyone truly wants to understand, because things are changing so quickly. So take us anywhere you want to go.
Well, it is an individual journey, so it's important not to forget that, because we are searching for information on the outside at first, and then as we embody and activate more and more, then we become the teacher. We start sharing in our circuits, and expanding our blueprint. starting to embody deeper and deeper aspects of ourselves, of our divine blueprint and unconditional love and sacred codes that only we have individually, you know what I mean? And coming into the embodying the divine masculine, the divine feminine, both of it as one, where before there was different dynamics in that old reality of separation, gender, race, you name it, wealth, all of that. Transforming, transmuting that through our inner activations and journey and priorities, where we, by, walking our talk and we showing up stronger and we start to trust and we don't stop and go, that we continuously show up. Of course, we take care of ourselves, meaning that, there's the spiritual hygiene. We need to recharge. We need to sleep. We need to get into nature. We need to meditate. We need whatever we need, to keep our frequency up becomes the priority more and more. So it's less and less of a struggle. So it's transforming our purpose and reason for being here. I mentioned it very briefly before we started recording, actually, but the divine blueprint, there's an overlay on top of the matrix, you know what I mean? So there's all these infinite possibilities when you're in the higher vibrational frequency, where there was closed doors before. There's now open doors. There's now a network. Your consciousness has expanded so much that it being brought into your awareness, into your creation, into your script, all these solutions that might not necessarily at the time kind of make sense, but they're out there and they might sound too exotic, but they're there. That opens up as we are in that field and bring more of that into our experience, then we start to believe it and then they start to manifest. So it could be a debt relief system. It could be, but it's divinely planned that way. So we are expanding what's available in our field, what we allow, what we actually, so we're not blocking ourselves and going, against the stream of abundance, you know what I mean? So it's really about making that shift. It's really about making that shift. And we will all go through what you're experiencing now. I've been through my old version of that, and I needed that, and for me as well, just to change the way I did things, kind of had to rip everything out, the old foundation, to see the world in a different place, and let go, because it is a surrendered state. To live in the quantum field that is non-linear. So we don't know exactly what's going to come next, but by being in a vibration where we are, in the current of positivity, infinite possibilities and love, then that is what we're focusing on, and that's what we attract towards us, that becomes the job, so to speak. We might have other side jobs that helps pay the bills, but that's really not the main reason we are here. So in essence, we're getting paid to hold our frequency really high and, anchor that into humanity in whatever way we individually feel guided to do that, or is being channeled through us, or to us. As we're communicating with the high aspects of ourselves, because we come into that oneness where we're no separate, there's no separateness between us in essence, you are me, I'm you, and everybody else, coming into that field. And that's when the infinite possibilities are present,
Yes, beautiful. I hear all that. I hear all of that. I mean, what I've been feeling, brother, is more tangibly, viscerally, the energies when I'm affirming, when I'm praying, when I'm speaking the word, I'm lit up, I can feel that, and if I say something or do something that's not in my field, it's like, oh, okay, I'm out of bounds, try again. And that by itself, has been so reassuring. And the divine timing of this happening, if I have to leave, then so be it. If this, this is for my higher good, so be it. But this happening this month of December, when this, we're building this energy towards the solstice, and it just feels like that's the leaping point in terms of a whole new chapter of creating with spirit. That's my sense of it.
I agree on that. with the shift, it's been building up, and it's much more significant than it's been for the last many years. So
Right.
there's really like a very less gravity kind of feeling.
Right.
Out of body, it will feel at times, but it's in the past we were navigating that a little differently. So now it's more of a embodying these higher aspects into this, embodiment at the same time. So learning how to be less connected to that old reality and the old experience,
Yes. Yes.
learning how to stay in that higher frequency. And
Yeah.
that, you know what I mean, where we're in the light body and we that's a high frequency. So it's self-contained. So the body will then self-regulate. So you really don't have to, like in the past, prepare a specific part of your body for a specific task. Let's say, the more we integrate the frequency and the operating system and the consciousness, then your body start doing it automatically for you because you're so connected to everything. So your vibration, your frequency will recalibrate continuously. Like each present moment, reconfiguring, self-observing, all of that, like, so it's like it's a quantum computer. We become a quantum computer again, so to speak, where we are advanced, piece of technology, this light ship. And it's really beautiful. And that's kind of like tying the shift frequency and energy now. I noticed too, like there's so many signs, not just angelic numbers and small miracles on a daily basis. Absolutely, that's wonderful. But I see it in my own life experience too. Just go back 5 years maybe, and compared to now, you go to the supermarket, to the checkout stand. I did it a couple of days ago, and I was looking at the magazines, like as you're standing there waiting for your turn. And now it was about meditation. It was about, love. There was no tabloid about this,
Wonderful
movie star being divorced and cheated and blah, blah, blah. That's all gone. Like you really see this shift, like organic,
quantum
all
leap.
of that. Like it's just so much. It's like you can just see it's different,
Beautiful. Wow. Well, that's exciting. I mean, I've been in Ireland for 16 years. So part of the reason was because I wasn't excited about that culture that you're describing, the old version. My analogy and metaphor has been 3D, 5D. It's like a teeter-totter. I'm practicing guided meditations and journaling and doing affirmations and prayer work and, inner listening. One of the things Spirit gave me for this group, I Am the Miracle, was to create an altar. And so put sacred teachers on the altar and, a few other things and, have a prayer field just specifically for the people in the group. And all of those things have, this has just been this week. This is only Thursday night. All of those things have had a definite impact. And I feel like, reality is moving at a much faster pace right now. It's exciting. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Well, I watched one of the episodes the other day. I don't remember what day it was. As I was working, I was doing something, I forget, but I was listening and I really liked it. It's you showing up differently. And it's not saying it was wrong before, but it's just I like this new way you're doing things. Like it's you know what I mean. You show up as the channel, as the incarnate, like, and you're just allowing what's coming into the field to be channeled through you, what you feel guided to share, and I like the way you do it. Just it's very open, very loving space that really appeals.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
There's no personal loo, meaning that there's no need. You know what I mean? In your frequency. There was, it might have been a little more humanness in you before. We all go through that stage, where we navigate, we have the emotions coming up, the triggers coming up much more, and you're in a different field now where you're not resisting, you're not trying to control it as much, you're trusting much more.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Giving up the fight, giving up the struggle.
Sure, brother. My joke is I tried everything else, so this is what works. Yeah. Beautiful. No, that means so much to me.
that is the way we navigate as awakening souls. Like we try everything till we reach the point of like, okay, I trust.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
surrender.
Yes. Amazing. Well, yeah, I love what you were saying about there's a whole new, spiritual energy, a whole new fifth dimensional spiritual energetic technology, and the oneness, and working with that oneness, with the earth, with humanity, with spirit, and being, deep inner listening, and trusting and waiting and being receptive, and looking for clarity, and all of that. Those are things I'm practicing more, I think, than ever before. I'll just say, I truly do love my home, and I'm sure spirit will take care of me. So I want to avoid the bumps in life if possible. I've had many challenges this year, and this is another big one. So I walked down to the library, and the librarians there said they knew of somebody that might have an apartment, and they'll let me know tomorrow. And given the housing crisis in Ireland, that was a hopeful and nice thing to hear. So yeah, it's this divine balance between my wants and needs and hopes, and then letting go of fear, trusting, blessing the situation, blessing the landlord, blessing the time I've been here, grateful for everything it's provided, giving the next step of my journey to God, giving thanks that it's in perfect order, and that I'm grateful, and just staying in that peaceful place. It's gotten easier for me to remember to do that.
I love that. And then, if we resist that, if we, keep those doors closed, or trying to control it, then it will just bring more discomfort and more distortions and more challenges into our life.
Sure.
So, being in the quantum field, or not being more in the linear, where there's like, we have to make decisions, then it's really hard to trust that the quantum field got our back. So it's about shifting into that mentality, into that consciousness, into that belief system, and fully trusting, allowing yourself to expand. And it doesn't have to be like, from the one extreme to the other at first. It's more like, this is what I can afford right now, or can barely afford, let's say, if it's an apartment. But there's something out there that might be a little bit more expensive, that if you go into that, then you're in more expensive space. And if you don't think about how it's going to unfold, how you're going to receive, how all that, then you're allowing yourself to open those doors where you can actually receive that abundance, because you're going with the flow. You're not trying to control it.
Right.
And not saying that it will be more expensive necessarily, but it's more like, have a tendency to play it safe. And that's the thing that keeps us back.
Yes, then, my friend. Yeah. Sure. No, that's right. And, beautiful. No, I felt all of that. That was really, really well said. And, again, it's like feeling closer to God, and feeling more trusting of, I've been studying all these things for 35 years, and I have the ability to share this and practice this, and be very human, about my ups and downs, like everyone else. And, if this is valuable, which I believe it is, then people will find a way to value it, and everything will work together for good. And I'll be able to do what I love, and share it with people,
Well, I love the way you kind of said that too. And it kind of like just significant, or magnifies that feeling of that, abundance within, and that full embodiment of the higher self, where you're walking example of spirit. So it's not just through what you say and what you share, through your words, but it's the vibration that you are in. If you are in that non-resistant field of energy and vibration and consciousness, then that plants seeds, and it encourages others to do the same, and then assist them with having that courage, because they can feel it through you, because you're connecting with that higher aspect that they want to gain access to, you know what I mean? So your vibration is providing that bridge, and and you are in the process of doing that again, reinventing yourself, and you are at like a crossroad, I feel right now, that you already made the decision. So it's really about
Well,
getting out.
whatever God wills, whatever God asks me to do, if that's on the path, and I will do it, of course.
Right.
Yeah. you know, uh, since I nearly died this year, God has my full cooperation and attention like never before. And I mean, bless you, my friend. Annie, well, Peter's thinking of you. Peter's got you. Peter's glad you're doing well. And honestly, there are like a dozen of those. So I'm way overdue to thank you in person here this way. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity to, you've been such a huge friend and such a beautiful support. And, because of you, Peter, and other, enlightened teachers that I'm blessed with in my life, I do believe I have a part to play in this story. And it has gotten me through the hardest days of my life, no doubt about it. So I'm very, very grateful for everything that's unfolding. And like you, man, you said you were having a nice walk and tuning into the energies. And it's really like that. There isn't any more like normal life, it's just the energy. How's the energy today? Am I tuned in? Am I tapped in? Is it flowing? Am I anxious and fearful and holding on, or am I blessing, enjoying, and releasing? It's been amazing. So thank you again, from my heart to yours.
Oh, my pleasure, and you don't have to thank me. It's really like it's beautiful to see how it changed, your appreciation and your value system of what's important in your life. You know what I mean? I've been through it myself. I had the near-death experience myself, where I was in a car crash, many years ago.
Yes.
Enjoying the moment and being more present, and sometimes we need that reminder that it can be taken away, but there's no accidents, of course, but really not overcomplicate things, not allowing the distortions in the field to take all our attention, but become present, and join that current of possibility, and positivity.
Beautiful.
Of love.
Yeah.
Really like every day as you can say the last day of your life or the beginning of your life, and it's like, it doesn't matter, it's like, it's just, there's infinite possibilities when we allow ourselves to approach it that way and tune in and feel, like what's going on, and engage through the vibration, because the vibration never lies. So
there you go.
People, whatever it is, oneself is like the key factor right there. How am I vibrating today? And if I'm not vibrating in a way I like or feel in harmony, then I'm the only one who can change that.
Amen. Yes.
Making those shifts. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, just saying. I'm a big movie fan, having grown up in LA, and so I'm mad for It's a Wonderful Life, the Jimmy Stewart Christmas film, where he thinks his life has been destroyed, because of he owes all this money, he doesn't know where it's gone, he's going to be put in jail, etc., a disgrace, all of that. But so he, of course, the story. He asked the angel to come down, and he asked God for help. We see that scene. God, please help me. He's in the bar, and an angel comes for him, and shows him what life would have been like if he'd never been alive, if he hadn't lived. And so at the end of it, the angel says, "You see, you really had a wonderful life, even with the ups and downs, even with all of that." And so I'm saying all that, Peter. I was at this Christmas party last night, and they're singing "Hark the Herald Angels Sing," which is the song that they sing at the end of It's a Wonderful Life. And the last line of the film, which of course I know by heart, is the guy stands up, he says, "To my brother George Bailey, the richest man in town." And, the town has rushed to his defense because he's a beautiful soul, and he's, he and his family are saved, but it's all about love. That's the key. So for me, that this is going on, that I might need to lose my home of the last 3 years and move on and figure something else out and leap into the void one more time, and all of that at this particular time, when I know the solstice is a huge quantum leap energetically for the planet. And I've just been through the most challenging year of my entire 66 years. All that has my full, total, utter, complete attention. And I'm going, okay, if this is it, then so be it. Let's do it.
Right. And it just comes to show, where you at this point, how much wisdom you remember and you re-embody, how you learn to navigate and prioritize yourself, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
All the experiences you had, kind of like summing it up, and also not forgetting that we are infinite beings, like this is one body, and it's the belief system, it's the matrix that says that it's gonna die, this body,
Yes.
So we
My
say
affirmation, sorry, my affirmation this week, I want to hear you, is I am a miracle, I am beautiful, I am powerful, I am eternal.
Yes.
So
amen.
Thank you. Yes. So remembering that keeps the anxieties at bay.
Do you have anxieties?
Sure. Yes. It's taken quite a lot of energy and commitment to come back from, 36 days in the hospital and 2 weeks in bed after that. And, my recovery, really finally turned the corner probably about 2 months ago in terms of my energy. And really, even in the last 2 months have been my first normal 2 months in the whole last year in terms of putting out energy and work and things like this. And, but yeah, I want to say that I raised €2,000 in the last week. And, I've made about €17,000 this last year, despite not working for 10 months. So, God has absolutely sent the angels and lovely human beings to take care of me and who do value me and my journey and whatever I have to share and all of that. But yes, as a guy who needs to know where his mail is being posted, I get anxieties about those things. Yes. So, but again, brother, this is the grace. I'll let you speak in 1 second. This is the grace of tonight's chat with Uncle Peter. Is Lou. We know it's a little tense right at the moment, so we'll send in the big guns. We'll send in the reinforcements. Thank you.
Well, it's a reminder that everything is always working out. When you look back, every big challenge you went through, it always worked out. It always did. There was a divine blueprint, or intervention happening, and there's just like it was pushing you into the uncomfortable, into where you were out of control, where you had to let go of that density, and then the surgery as well is like big. It tells now, your vibration is much stronger because you cleared some really dense energies within you that needed to go, or belief system in your cells, in your body, trauma. That really, like it was
serious.
holding you down. It was making you sick. So now you can see how you're coming back online in a much lighter body and blueprint and presence,
Yes.
Because you're not holding all that old self any longer. So it's like it really was a death and a rebirth in so many ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is just the next chapter,
Absolutely, and then you choose what's coming next. You know what I mean? What doors to open and what doors are available. So that's why it's going to be pushing you out of your comfort zone, like you're experiencing right now. It's like, don't recreate the past.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Think bigger.
No,
Visualize how that would look without all the details in place, but kind of like feel if you had, a little more space, you had a little more light, you had a little more resources, whatever it is, without figuring out the details, how they come to you.
Yes, I'm with you.
How would that feel? Like ideally, I would like to do this or something better, kind of like continuously just be in that vibration, that frequency. And I know it sounds a little cliche to most, but it will manifest over time. Our job is really just to stay on track, and
Beautiful.
continually put out,
Yes, yes. No, that's good. I'm listening to. I hear you. It's good. I'll take it all in. Absolutely. I'm listening to Neville Goddard. I like Brian Scott on YouTube. He's got the Reality Revolution. It's a wonderful channel. I don't know if you've heard of it, but he reads. Oh yeah, it's well worth knowing about. And one of the things he does is he reads the traditional books. Joseph Murphy and Napoleon Hill and Florence Scovel Shinn and these kind of people, as well as, Law of One, the Raw Material, and, a channel named Quo, etc. Anyway, it's what you've said there, is what I'm listening to, which is that, like my quote here from Lazarus this week, my teacher of the last 30 something years, is to this point: there is no time, there is no space, all is now, all is illusion. You can have as much of the illusion as you want. Like, okay, that's very friendly. I'll sign up to that. Yeah. So I'm ready for the next chapter of a better illusion. Absolutely.
So what is your next chapter you are kind of creating at the moment? You know what I mean? You stepped into a new venue in essence, I think there's a time period, right? It's like a 30-day or some number of days.
Yes. I have 26 days at the moment. Yeah. Yeah. Well, go on.
No, I was going to say, what are you expanding it into? What do you feel guided to, I'm sure along the way, then there's like, oh, I could do a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that, kind of like opening up possibilities and seeing how you're now showing up differently and people are responding differently and engaging differently and supporting you differently.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah, no, I hear you. It's what I'm working with at the moment is that this is an opportunity to, really be in my power and create my freedom, and how I've recovered from the surgery and supported myself, the last 9 months or so, has been, usually just putting it out here and, asking for support, very directly when the clock is running down. And that's how all of this got created, being behind 3 times in 12 months. So learning from that, taking the message from that, paying the price for that, all the above, and just asking to be shown how to share what I'm learning in a way that is self-sustaining as well as helpful and inspiring to others. Absolutely open to that, and grateful for that, trusting that is coming. And I do feel that. I mean, it doesn't serve me as someone who is, striving to represent Almighty God, that I'm struggling from pillar to post, every month or so. It's a little, it's not a good fit, So, I'm asking to be shown how to heal that.
Well, the relationship to money, because abundance is energy, right? Is the frequency, and the money as we know it is a heavy, denser, attachments, conditioned frequency and vibration. So it's really like not focusing so much on that, on perfecting that, but more of being in the vibrational realm of abundance. So how we show up, how we engage, how we anchor in the frequency continuously, that allows us to receive this infinite abundance.
Sure.
It is the
very
mindset.
good. So yes.
So
let me just
how we speak to ourselves too is very important. If we talk down to ourselves, that is kind of feeding that old system. It's like,
sure. Okay.
I'm struggling. You know what I mean? Then that is the vibration we're engaging with, right? So look at it differently is that, yes, you had 3 close calls, if you want to call it that, or we call it that, but that also was 3 times you're now getting closer to letting go of that attachment to that old system. So you like, right, knife edge, of letting go, jumping off that cliff.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like trial and error, like we just, need to push ourselves out of that comfort zone. So if you look at it that way, then it's very empowering, instead of like putting yourself down for, what I mean, as we do as humans, for, that's not a good picture. But no, it's actually showing that you're pushing, what I mean? You are trying to take it to the next level.
Yeah. Okay. That's very helpful. I mean, I'm working with self-love and self-worth, and knowing that and affirming that, and being open to receive however the universe wants to provide and support what it is that I do. This has been a theme for some time in my life. Absolutely. So it is a bit confronting, having been here for 13-14 months with this guy, and 2 years before him, God bless him. Because I know everyone is under these pressures. I'm very aware of that. And so, people are as kind to you as they can afford to be, basically. And that's them taking care of themselves and their families. And that has to be respected. I absolutely respect that. So, I just, I'm not quite clear yet how to make my life easier in that area, other than believing, as I was saying about George Bailey and all that the angels are here, the miracles are available. If you've ever been ready to receive, now is a golden opportunity to really be an angel in this world and demonstrate that God's love is perfect, whole, and complete. And I'm grateful to know that. So, yeah, that's as much as I can say at the moment.
And that is the the simplicity of that template, like that's really all you have to focus on. Don't focus on the details, you know what I mean? You're already doing it right, because you notice that there's more support coming in this last year. So it's more like continue to show up, continue to, add to the field, add to that container of consciousness, which you are doing.
Thank you.
You also, I mean, you went to the Christmas party you mentioned earlier, those, playing on public squares. I know you play music.
I've gotten out there a lot. Yeah.
You sharing, your vibration, you allowing yourself to be seen as who you are now as well. So you're putting that energy into the collective, and that allows your collective, your life experience to transform as well, because you're putting it out there, you know what I mean? So it will have a positive effect on the surroundings, so a transitional frequency,
Sure, I believe that. I absolutely do, Peter. I'm just laughing because, I did about 10. Bless your heart, brother. I'm so grateful for you. I did about 10 videos last week to try to beat the deadline for the November rent, and I didn't make it. It was the next morning, and that's when I got the notice. And then I paid December, and that didn't change anyone's mind. So yes, I am putting it out there with both hands and both feet, every chance I get. And so let me be very clear. The last week of my life has been amazing and wonderful and really thrilling and exciting and inspiring, because the challenge of this has absolutely forced me to look at everything and let go of everything and give everything and deepen my connection to God. And, I'm sure the best is yet to come. I just would like, it to be in a manageable way that's not, it doesn't bring me to despair and overwhelm in the process. But that's me having to take responsibility for every step of the journey. And that's what I need to do, of course.
Right. You are transitioning into the higher expression of self, where you actually start over time to recognize and believe and understand the reason why you're going through these expansion and these challenges, and how it was part of your divine blueprint and your divine script created by you to navigate out of that, human experience, that linear experience, into, the multidimensional, into the quantum field, into the higher self. Version where you are the source creator. And when you reach that state, that quantum field, then you are like you are so alive because, whatever you pay your attention to, or your thoughts, or engage in, that is one that's going to be manifested instantly. So it's really about a divine blueprint being present and active, where it's not kind of like a hit and miss. It's more like, you have done so much work that it just stays in the expansive field, and it's really hard to kind of share that, if you're in a very quantum experience, life experience field, that's non-linear. So if you want to put that in linear words, it's not going to translate the same way. It's really, we have to individually go through that transition, and that's the divine script.
Sure.
That's part of your awakening journey and ascending journey that you divinely orchestrated for you, that you are so beautifully through, and you're reaching the end of one phase, or or of the game.
Yes.
And transitioning into the next one, you know what I mean? So it's really beautiful, and it's all going in the right direction. It is the golden age we're in now, and what you felt last week, that's just a little reminder, and just showing what's available all the time.
Beautiful.
But when you then get challenged out of that with the mind jumping in, then it's kind of like showing you what is underlaying, what's underlying, what the programs are needing to come up. And that's not because you messed up. It's not because you did something wrong. It's just like it needs to come up to be transformed, to be made conscious, brought into the light. And then that life experience you had this last week, is become more and more permanent, because you're clearing, and releasing the attachment to that old self.
Beautiful.
The limited self, the human aspect that was struggling, with everything, living in separation.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Because I was hiking earlier too. There was two gentlemen walking by, and they were talking about politics, and it doesn't matter what party they were in, but they would talk about, politics, and like there's two sides, all of that. And I could just telepathically kind of feel in the frequency that they were like, okay, what are you, kind of thing, and
right. Sure.
But like that was like the radar of the human, and I was like, if I had to answer that, it's like I'm in the unified field party,
Right. There is no us versus them in the once of all that is.
The gender, the sex, preferences, all of that, races, it's all part of the old system. Being galactic, being human, being being angelic, being all of that, elementals, like it's labels that was useful in that script, you know what I mean? But now starting to operate in the quantum field as vibration, as consciousness, as frequency, and navigate through that as well, then those labels fall off, There is no separation. We don't look for separation. We don't look for
Sure.
You're not navigating through fear,
Yeah, I hear you. I do. And I feel, you're saying it beautifully. There really is a splitting away now between people like ourselves who are blessed to understand any little part of this and know how to practice, it in any way and share what we're learning, and people that have no idea that this is available or this is reality, And I think I think the next year, is going to be as you said, it's great to hear that, how awakened the states have become, and that this awakening is happening all over the world in many different ways, many different teachings, and people are really going to realize how much they need. I believe what we've been blessed to learn and to practice. So of course it will all work out, and it does always work out when I let it. And I've had lovely people like yourself show up at important auspicious moments, to remind me of that simple fact. So again, I'm really grateful for our connection and your path and your teaching. Thank you.
My pleasure. It's an honor to be on here, and we do follow each other on social media, and then set winks and hearts and
Yes.
like, like it's because I feel what you feel, I could feel what you're going through, and vice versa, like it's really just kind of like honoring, allowing different kind of relationships, how we show up,
Yeah.
recognize
Yeah.
aspects of ourselves, and some we resonate more with than others, and there's no right and wrong. It's more like, we just navigate in the circles with the frequency that feels, right for us, closest to our
Yes.
divine blue.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
like soul groups, traveling together and solving a big puzzle, so to speak, together, and eventually it narrows so much down that, there is no separation between any of us,
Sure. Sure. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, do you want to channel anything for us tonight, my friend?
Yeah,
Before you.
absolutely. Do you have any questions you want to tune into?
Well, boy, we've covered a lot. Let me. Yes, I would just like to. I would ask your guides how I personally can more elegantly connect to spirit in order to be a more impactful teacher and live a more joyous life.
See,
How's that for simple?
no, I love that, and I'm gonna tune into it right after this. But like, it really,
Sure.
like, you could have gone different route. You could say, "How do I get the next paycheck? Or how do I pay the
Right.
next month?"
Right. Right.
But that
No.
was not
No.
your
Big
priority.
picture.
That
Big
I know,
picture.
and that's the difference. You know what I mean? You're focusing on, because none of that would work without this. You know what I mean? If you're not connected,
Yes.
then it's a
Yes.
crapshoot.
Yes, we are connected, and the connection is getting easier, and that is the most exciting thing in my life for sure.
Yes, absolutely. But let
Yeah.
me ask you for permission to energy meld and connect with your higher self. Do I have permission?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm just going to bring in the Legion of Angels. I'm asking them to remove any wandering spirits, anything that's not a delight from your energy field, from your home, city, state, country, this transmission, this planet, all timelines, all parallel realities, and all dimensions, just clearing the space and the frequencies. Slowly and gently, energy melding with you, allowing the archangels to come in as well, just feeling what's going on in your field and tuning into the guidance that will benefit you the most and assist you the most. What can you do to make a deeper connection with spirit and your soul self? And so this might sound a little counterintuitive, but it's like, depending where we're looking from, slowing down, as we come into the quantum field more and more, means that we are more present. So that is the advice that's coming through here, because very first I was tuning into energy, there was like almost like a strobe light, but not that. It was not distorting, but it was like flashes of energy and receiving energy and messages from you. I mean,
Yes.
you, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
But it was still like a film strip, a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So by it's not, you don't focus on the film strip itself or on the messages itself. It's more like you unify them into one, like one sphere, one field. So the vibration, the momentum of the human, the whole life experience, there was a momentum going on, and it's wearing off, but it's still happening a little bit. So that's what that kind of suggests, is that slow down a little bit so it kind of comes to a halt. But that doesn't mean that anything stops. It just means that then you are like tuned in. You're like fully open, receiving and transmitting at the same time, where before it was more with, now I'm in the receiving state, now I'm not. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes. Yes. That's good.
You want to be tuned on and turned on, like 24/7. So
Yeah.
that's
I
like
hear you.
what's in the process of unfolding right now. And
I feel that. I feel
the
that.
experiences you had with your physical illness this last year was a part of the cleansing and clearing and preparation for this next stage to take place, because it was really like there was some really old frequencies and trauma held in organs in your body that needed to be cleared out through that surrendered state where you were like fully offline, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That allowed for that transformation to happen. And as you came back online, there was a little bit of a a scare happening, but then that also got cleared. It was simply just like residual energy in your body, you know, that just was trying to, you know, recreate itself or try to test you.
Right.
So now you cleared that, and you're now in a different frequency, in a different body than before. Like the crystalline body is stronger and more activated than it was before, because now it's able to integrate and connect and receive and hold more and more light, and more
Beautiful.
that wisdom that's being, you know, activated within you, the remembrance. So it really, like, instead of operating from separation of I want to get over there, you have to do it as it's already here right now, because in the quantum field you're already 100% connected.
I hear
so
you.
you have to kind of observe yourself. When am I going out there and looking? And then when you do, you didn't mess up, just bring yourself back. So that's simplicity we're talking about, because when you're in the quantum field, you're not trying to get to somewhere, because you have everything right here. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of want to wrap your head around that and embody that and operate through that organic presentness, that present moment awareness, where you are fully connected and you're operating and you're communicating straight from your heart. So it's not from recorded memory of who you were and what happened in the past. It's like, no, it's the divine blueprint that's navigating through you. So you fully embodying that higher aspect of yourself. It's not separate from you. You see?
Yes.
So that's when you also in that frequency, like last week when you felt great, you know, things were easy because you're not complicating, you're not thinking too much.
Very good. Very good.
You see?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Lovely.
That's what that means, slowing down. But in the physical sense, in the human sense, that feels like it's backwards, right? But no, it's actually bringing things into alignment, because you're now not operating linear any longer.
Yes. No, that's great. Because honestly, that's all I can really think and manage energetically at the moment. I don't want to speak from weakness, but that is what I'm able to do. I can do that. I can trust in God. I can be grateful. I can imagine the beautiful home that I could be living in, and relationships and work and music and all that, and be, just owning it, being grateful for it, giving thanks. I can do all that. I'm focused on that. Absolutely.
Even the home is not really as important, the physical home. It's more like you are the home. So when you are fully contained in the frequency within, then the outside will be reflecting and mirroring that, and it will be something that's, a vibrational match and complementary to where you at the moment, but you're not focused so much on that, because if you do, then you kind of try to control it and hold on to it, and then you go backwards. You know what I mean? Then you attach yourself.
All right.
So you can live in beautiful surroundings, and you will, but it's really like you don't want to put the focus out there. You want to keep it within, and that's where you're always connected and you're always taken care of, because you are fully there.
Okay, that's a challenge. I hear you.
It is a challenge to the human aspects, but it's not a challenge to the higher self. So it's more of like, it's a choosing and not allowing the all to, control.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But it is steps. You're taking many of them, and you are there now, ready to take a big leap, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I feel that. I do. And I trust that what you're saying. And I trust that, the divine timing of being able to have this conversation, and for me to really let this in.
Another thing too, I love how you surround yourself with ascended masters and God and so forth. But it is important that you also kind of cross that bridge somewhat, at least open yourself up to it more and more. I know you do, but you just remind yourself is that, you are all of that. You are God. You are those ascended masters. You are those gurus that you're referring to. It's important that you actually created that. They wouldn't be a part of your life experience unless you created them. As a guide for you, as aspects of you, guiding you back to wholeness, right? The logical mind is continuously trying to narrow, separate that out and like, this, that, control things, but it's want to just, with a keep that open, like you can continue doing what you do, but it's important that you remind yourself that you are all of it. So daily affirmations would be really good. I am all that is. I am my higher self. I am Christ consciousness. I am unconditional love. You can
Beautiful.
connect with the archangels, guardian angels, the ascended masters, God, whatever you want to call it, and say, please work through me, with me. I am you. You are me. We are one. That opens up that bridge. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yes, I've been I-aming my brains out, Spirit. Absolutely. The last from Saint Germain, the last month with the discourses, and yes, those are very helpful ideas. That you are God, as U.S. Anderson says.
We're so afraid of it because of the programming we've been exposed to in religion. How that was separating and dividing people. You know what I mean? And we had lifetimes.
Yes,
all this stuff in the recorded history, but it was a part of that script. So now we are moving beyond that,
This is the second coming. This is the second coming, that we own our Christ consciousness. And it's not sacrilege to say a child of God is equal to his father. Absolutely.
And that's the thing, is that like Christ consciousness is a unified field. So it's not like there's no hierarchy.
Right.
It's the eye of the beholder.
Okay. Well, I'll wave at you in a month and let you know how I'm doing.
Absolutely. I have to run. I have to go pick up my daughter from school.
It's perfect. It's perfect, Peter. Thank you, brother, so much. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Thanks a million.
I love you too. Thank you so much, and I look forward to doing it again and hearing what's happening next.
God bless you. Okay.
Thank you so much for listening.
Pleasure. Till we meet again. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Okay.